All right, let's finish chapter 2 of FF Tactics. So, we're going to do something very important here. We're going to switch to rubber shoes. Now, why are we switching to rubber shoes? Well, this is a weird battle. You may remember the last time we went to Leonel Castle, they said open the gate and you saw someone push a switch. That was the game telling us that there was a switch in the back of the wall to pull. Now, when I was a kid, I got stuck at Golgarand. I got stuck at what did I get stuck at? I got stuck at the Weegraph fight at Boboham. I then got stuck at Golgarand, as most people do. And then I got stuck here at Leonel Castle. And the reason is we have a split fight. Ramza is locked in against Gafgarian, while the rest of the party is locked out against the other units. All the other units have lightning elemental weapons. All of them. So, if we equip rubber boots, they have very little they can do to us. There is a summoner. We have to be cautious about a summoner. And Ramza can also open the gate and come out and help fight. And if he's going to do that, it could be helpful for him to have rubber boots on as well. I decided to not put them on him here because because he has blade grasp anyway, right? He's just not at much risk. But rubber shoes are really useful here if you notice that everyone has the weapons like the coral sword. So Ramza's in a group of one. You'll notice capacity one for that group. It has to be just Ramza. And our other units, the farther forward they are here, actually, the farther away from enemies they are. So I'm going to put them top right. I think that will be the farthest from the enemy units. Now, one thing cool we have going here is if you have certain moves, ignore height is a move ability, fly, or teleport, then you can easily go in and out of the castle part without interacting with what you're supposed to. Oh, we might have enough JP for to learn fly. So we actually probably could do that with the dancer if I had remembered we could gain JP there. Wait there, I'll open the gate. Not so fast. You got in all right, but didn't notice an ambush. So another fight with 7 enemies. It's not 8, but it's 7. We have a split team. This can be tricky, but I do think with rubber shoes, it becomes pretty reliable. There are a couple other things you can do to try to deal with Gafgarian here. One is his Night Sword. If you cast Zombie on Ramza Shikuchi, then he will not use Night Sword anymore because it undead. If you use drain moves, you take damage and they heal. So he won't use Night Sword anymore, and he will fight you on more normal footing. On the other hand, it's hard to heal a zombie character, so that comes with associated risk. That's one goofy strategy you can do here. Um, I'm sure there are others. That's the one that's coming to mind. But the main strategy here, I think, is rubber shoes. And we want to get rid of the summoner. Shikuchi, it's me you must fight with. On guard. Because if we when we won't get a turn quickly because the enemies are faster speed than us at this point in the game, because they're higher level and stronger. 63. Ooh, that's very annoying. Why is that annoying, you ask? Because we have 125 life. That means he two shots us. But if we had 2 more life points, he would not two shot us. Okay. So I'm going to come here. So I'm in range of heals. And we're going to use Kotetsu Knife, of course. We also two-shot him. Almost one shot. Okay. What do we want to do? Now, we could life drain. He's just out of range. We could move and life drain, but I think I'd rather just cure Ramza, right? Let's make sure it goes before Gafgarian. It does. All our spells basically do. I guess we only need cure 1. So let's heal him. Yeah. Then he will survive. And let's, I guess, just stay where we are. And let's get out a Nameless Dance, of course. And move to the corner. Oh, I meant to look at the enemy units. We'll do that next turn. But they're not shooting because we have rubber shoes. The reason their archers aren't attacking is because they don't actually have a way to damage us. We are immune to lightning damage, and they only have lightning attacks in this fight. Except for Zelig the Summoner, who is now going to hit us, hopefully not too hard. If it does 102, we just lose here. So I'm a little worried. I don't think it should. My guess is about 60. But this could be a reset. 95 and 73. Oh, that was terrifying. Oh, and that's horrible. Because that means Gafgarian, we're going to have a reset here. We might lose this fight. We're probably going to lose this fight. Unless this takes out the summoner and we have time to... I think we're going to lose. Yeah, because Gafgarian now can finish Ramza. What a disaster. First reset of the playthrough? Horrible. Okay, we have a big choice now. What's the summoner's name? Zelig. Okay. So if we raise Ramza, Zelig gets a turn before the next nameless dance. So there's no way we're taking them out. If we heal ourselves... Gafgarian will also run forward next turn. He has 3 move. 1, 2, 3. And his range on his move, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's no way he can reach us. So the threat is the summoner. So I think the only way is if we can get Don't Act on the summoner or Sleep on the summoner. Then we don't die this turn. Our next turn, we can heal Ramza. Gafgarian can't reach us. We have chance for another Nameless Dance to go off. I think this is the only play. This goes off before Zelig, so I have to pick Sleep, and I have to pick Panel. And we just have some percentage chance that we hold. Don't Act's a little more reliable, so it's a slightly better chance. However, it wears off much quicker. This, if it lands, I think we're in good shape. I'm going to run over here. And... Oh, did I select unit or panel? Oh, but that guy's already asleep. That guy's already asleep, so they won't move. So it was okay that I meant to select panel, but I think I just selected unit. None of the enemy other than the summoner can hurt us, but the summoner's a problem. And we need sleep to hit. Oh god, I'm terrified. Don't care if this hits. Cool, but doesn't matter. You're already asleep. And the big one. We did it. Okay. I think we survive now. We still need to raise Ramza, though. Okay, that sucked, but that's okay. Okay, you can't hit anyone. So you didn't move. That's great. Okay, so we need to cast Raise. Raise has 1, 2, 3, 4 range. So to touch Ramza, Ramza is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we reach him from here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I'm gonna move. Ooh, what a terrifying fight. I really bungled this. I said we were gonna do this reliably, and then this happened. Oh my god. Alright, does Raise heal with 63 or more life? Over 63. Heals with exactly 63. Raise 2, Gafgarian gets a turn first. Can Gafgarian possibly reach us? 3 move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's no way Gafgarian reaches us. So we're going to use Raise 2. 85%, but if it hits, we're in great shape. And actually, that it hits after Gapgarian's turn is kind of fantastic. And it, yeah. Okay, I think this is the right choice. This is the first really chaotic part. We're going to keep Nameless Dancing for sure. Archer can't hurt us. The Knight might be able to break something. He can run up and try to use a break move. Speed Break? Annoying, but not the end of the world. Our spell will still go off at the same point in time. This Knight... Okay, Nameless Dance. We still need our raise to hit now. It's 88%, but we really need it to hit, because if it doesn't, we now don't get our next turn for a while, and we'll be hard-pressed to help Ramza in time. Gapgarian will sit there, and raise 2. We need this 88%. Okay. Keep dancing. Now, what I think we'll do with Ramza, maybe I should have done this immediately, is teleport outside the wall and start moving away from the wall. We'll leave Gafgarian for the end, and we'll go clear the outside just so, the summoner at some point will wake up. We don't want that to happen, right? So we want to position ourselves so that won't end us. Man, this went... That's great. We got to sleep. Rather have hit the Knights because the Archer can't do anything, but I'll take it. Alright, they're going to run up and try to break something. Oh, they don't even have any break moves then, if they didn't do anything. That's delightful. Okay. Let's go here. Well, let's actually just go here. Get outside the walls and hit the guy that has speed break, because that is actually annoying. Ooh, and we got the kill. That's great. Okay, and we're going to be moving away from the walls. I'm not actually moving here to attack. I'm moving here, so I'm going to check how much damage it does. I'm moving here to heal. This goes after Gafgarian, that's fine. 97, that's a full heal exactly. Let's do that. And let's move into the heal zone and away from the wall where Gafgarian might be able to hit us. Do we want to keep dancing? Let's slow dance. That's what's going to hurt Gafgarian the most. Because Gafgarian doesn't get hit by these things. And hopefully he can't reach us. And backs off. Okay. Then he's probably taking out Ramza. Yeah, he takes out Ramza here. But we can revive Ramza next turn. Our next turn comes slowly. So this is annoying. But we will get it eventually. Oh man, this fight. This is supposed to be a pretty safe fight. But it can show you, like, the fights I'm less worried about are also still really dangerous. Like, everything is dangerous in this game. And one thing starts going weird, and... Alright. Sleeped enemies are guarded. Slept enemies? Sleeping enemies. There's the word. Alright, we're gonna keep slow dancing in a burning room. Where that goes. Hopefully no one wakes up at an inopportune moment. I can't really do anything to the summoner right now. I'd love to be able to go over and whack them with our Oracle, but I think the pressing issue is we have to bring Ramza back. We're going to raise Ramza, and we're going to move here so that we can hit the summoner next turn if for some reason we need to. So we have all our units close, so if the summoner wakes up this turn, I haven't kept track. I don't have in my head how long characters last before waking up. We want Ramza to go before Gafgarian. And he does. Oh, fantastic. Oh boy, this has been a nightmare. Do we have good compatibility here? Let's check. That should be bad compatibility. Neutral. Okay, neutral's great. We kill neutral. So we're gonna launch our draw out. And with the summoner down, we should be good. Now, that other knight might be able to break stuff, but at this point, that shouldn't be a problem. All right. That's nice that we lowered Gafgarian's speed, because he's pretty quick. Oh, what a fight. Good way to end chapter 2. Nice, exciting battle. The thing about this game is, like, obviously we want to minimize how many fights go wrong, but obviously it's more interesting to watch if fights go wrong. And, like, I'm pretty good at this, so fights don't go wrong that often. But also that means you don't get the decision making of figuring out how to make a fight that's going wrong work. And it's fun to figure those out. Like, you want there to be fights like this, and you don't want to create it intentionally. You need it to happen organically. And it's going to at some points. Things are going to go wrong, even in the fights that I'm like, yeah, this one's safe. This one's not a risky fight. Okay. I just want to heal. I'm just going to heal. I just want to make sure everyone has as much life as they can have, and before we go near Wheatgrass, near Gafgarian. That was not a spoiler that Gafgarian and Wheatgrass are the same. They're very much not the same. All right, let's go here and pop our Kutetsu. Beautiful. Ooh. Oh, this was so scary. This could have been such an easy reset. This could have been such an easy reset. And it wasn't like, I mean, I think I made good decisions. I think I made the right choices. But once the situation got bad. But it's not like they guaranteed I'd get out of it. I needed an 88% raise 2 to hit, and more importantly, I needed that sleep to hit. And that was the really critical one. Let's let this keep going, actually, another cycle. Maybe Ramses get ready to go in and fight Gafgarian, finish him off. Gafgarian is really slowed. And if Gafgarian just did his turn... Okay, that guy's awake. Alright, let's just grab the treasure chest. Let's throw out a nameless dance. Oh, they can hit. I forgot they can hit Ramza because we never switched him. Because I wanted him to have more magic power to be able to take out Gafgarian quickly, but we never switched him off stuff. Anyways, our Oracle's really slow, right? Yeah, 5 speed. So not going to be getting too many turns. Spell Absorb. Grab some MP. 50% chance to gain 15 MP for 2, so net gain of 13. It's a pretty good deal. Didn't work out, but not a bad deal. And let's see if we can take out the 2 randos. No, we cannot. Alright. I guess we'll get rid of you. No, you know what? Yeah, okay. Oh, I am so happy we didn't get a reset here. I was very worried. Uh, but I'm also really happy we've genuinely hit a point in the game where you can see this can go really wrong. And this is not a harder fight than Golgarand. Like, Golgarand is clearly the harder fight than this. And Goog can be harder than this. Fovoham Plains and Linalia. Like, there's many things that could have been the fight that would be this difficult, right? It just happened to be this one. I'll try to take him that way. I'm gonna let I'm going to let Agrias get the kill there. Go here. See if we could draw Gafgarian a little towards us. It's annoying. We're still on 126 HP total, even though we leveled up, which means he still two-shots us, right? So I might have to bring our Oracle over just to make sure we can heal if needed. That it might not be safe to send Ramza in alone. But I kind of want to. But I shouldn't. Gotta be disciplined. So the reason the enemies aren't approaching us is because Gafgarian is still full health, so they think they should be in runaway mode. But in fact, Gafgarian is also in runaway mode because he can't get through the gate on his own. And the switch that they showed us in that other scene could let him through, but only we can do the switch. We've had very bad luck finishing enemies with our Oracle when it's like 70% to hit moves. Ooh, don't do that. Cool. All right, maybe we should stay 2 distance away so the knight in runaway mode doesn't get attacks against us. Yeah, let's be more careful about that in the future. And what I'm hoping to do is finish this chapter at level 15. And I think we'll be able to. Okay, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this might draw him closer to us without him being able to hit us. We're going to try it. Yeah, he moved towards us. And we're faster than him, so we should be able to two-turn him. If we look at the turn order here, we get a turn, he gets a turn, we get a second turn, and a third turn before he goes. So this is safe. We also know draw out can't miss, so this is safe on that front as well. And we do 180, so we very easily kill him in time. Guess we'll try to finish with a life drain here. Will a 43% hit? I'm going to say yes. No, I was incorrect. Anytime you see them stand like that, it means the move's missed. And they really can't do anything because of the rubber shoes. Again, this fight is supposed to be so safe, right? This fight should not be this dangerous a fight, but any fight can go wrong. Any fight can go wrong. And that's the big lesson here. We're going to move next to him just to make sure I don't like misclick a move and have disaster happen. And this is the end of Gafgarian. We fought him 3 times. And this third time is the final time. Is this the end? Goodbye, Gafgarian. A fairly respectable villain, as villains in this game go, right? Like, he didn't, like, stand up to badness, but he was able to recognize badness. Now, I guess we're never going to see it, because I'll finish the fight first, most likely. But if Ramza moves here, he will flip the switch, and the gate will open, and that's when your 2 forces can meet up. Nope, we will see it, because I missed. Great. And because it will take a while for the next Oracle move, because she's slower speed. So here, let's see it. And I like how they showed us this in a quick scene. Like, the game gave us a way to know about this. It wasn't, some random thing you couldn't figure out. If I push this lever, yeah, punch the lever. Well done, Ramza. And everyone gets turns faster than the Oracle, both because they're waiting without moving and because the Oracle has been slowed by Speed Break. 90%? There we go. All right. Ooh. Again, it was kind of lucky that worked, but I think I made the right decision. I think the critical moment, the question was, do I try to raise Ramza? Well, if I raise Ramza, the summoner definitely, or heal Ramza. It was heal at that point. If I try to heal Ramza, the summoner definitely takes out the Oracle, and we can't finish the fight in 3 moves. So I can't heal Ramza. If I try to heal myself, then Ramza will go down, and I will be in a cycle where I have to heal myself every turn because the summoner is just hitting for huge damage every turn. I don't get time to heal Ramza. So the only thing I can do and survive is I have to stop the summoner from hitting me. And then Ramza will go down, but then I can heal Ramza. And then I have time to heal myself. Or I can heal myself, then Ramza. Because I probably have time either way. But the really important part was had to find a way to limit the summoner, and I would have slightly raised my odds of that by using Don't Act, but Don't Act wears off in basically 2 turns, and so that hits slightly a higher percentage of the time, but it also means, you know, I heal myself, I heal Ramza, suddenly the same problem occurs again. Sleep solves the problem for long enough that I have time to adjust. So I think I made the right decision once we got into the bad spot. How could we have avoided the bad spot? I think my Oracle was too far out in the open. They shouldn't have been able to hit both the Oracle and Ramza. If they couldn't have hit both, I would have been in good shape. So my positioning, I kept units too close, and I didn't think about where their summoner was going to be able to hit, and that got me in serious trouble. We must save the princess before reinforcements arrive. But you can see just how easily like one enemy unit that you don't have under control can be a huge problem. And one weakness our team has is it is a quite low HP team. And so if something goes wrong, it can go really wrong really quick and just keep going wrong. So we still have no resets on this run, which is great. I usually don't have any resets before chapter 3, but man, that was close. And we are now going to slightly change our gear. We're going to put on 2 defense rings and go back to a wizard mantle here. So this is a boss. It is a single target enemy. Who can do the most damage to a single target? Well, Ramza, of course, can do huge damage to anything. Different ways. He has both Draw Out, but he also has Demi and Demi 2 from Time Mage, which are percentage-based attacks. Our Oracle both has stick damage, which is good, and life drain, which is great for single targets. And our Dancer has nothing, can hit with a shitty dagger, for 25 damage a pop. Therefore, our Dancer's the least valuable unit. So here's the strategy. Defense rings protect us from sleep and death sentence. This boss happens to have a move that either does sleep or death sentence. Now, if they don't use that move, they use quite powerful attacks. We don't have that much HP. We want them to use that move, and we want them to target the one unit that can't hit them very hard. So we don't put a defense ring on Yuna so that he will target Yuna. Now, whatever your party is, you should pick out here's the members that can do really good damage, they get defense rings. Here's the members that don't, they do not. We want to use them as targets so that we can induce it to use an attack on a character that we don't need anyway. And that should give us time to finish the boss. This is not particularly tough boss. So I'm going to put Yuna here, and I guess the Oracle here. And we're trying to induce the sleep death sentence move. And there are a couple boss fights where the enemy is going to get first turn and has some powerful things they can do. And we really need to plan stuff like this, or the fight will not be reliable. Now, it's very winnable if like it happens to not sleep death sentence the right characters, right? There's lots of ways to win it. I should have kept them farther apart. I forgot Ramza wouldn't actually be where you place him. He'd be further forward. Gafgarian is not as good as he says. Or was it bad luck? Anyhow, you're good. You have Bulve blood in your veins, even if you are a bastard. But I don't need your interference anymore. Leave the stone here. If you resist, I'll show no mercy. Where's Princess Ophelia? Why must you save her? You deserted the bull vase. What can you change by yourself? Don't waste energy. Without power, nothing can be achieved. Power is going to be another important theme in this game. You're powerless. Where's the princess? She's not here. She left for Zeltenia. Zeltenia is Goltana, the Black Prince's domain. She chose our help over yours. That's a lie. She has begun to think for herself. She felt unsure of you and chose us for obvious reasons to take the throne. Why don't you join us? You want to get the best of your brother's sales, right? We care about the world too. How about it? I don't want to change the world. I just can't allow people to suffer and die because of some elitists' ideas. Change the world. You think anyone really can? I'm not that reckless. Ha ha ha. You're the one holding the stone. You can change not only the world, but the truth of everything with its power. Since you don't seem to understand, let me show you. This is also how he killed Rudvitch. And you can see the reddish tint to the walls. These stones seem very powerful, very dangerous stuff. They can turn you into that beautiful creature, stitched together zombie thing. Yeah, what a beauty. Tainted King Quecklane. Yeah, yeah, how about that? Surprise? Yeah, but how ugly it is. Now let me have my fun. Let me hear your screams and suffering death cries. This Cardinal Draclow seems bad. To be fair, Draclow is going to be the name of a villainous character. Now, I grouped my team way too closely. It is possible I got myself in trouble here. The Impure King. Yeah, I gave him a hit on all of us. Oh, yep, I'm an idiot. We positioned this really badly. Now, luckily, that move's not enough to kill us, but that was really poor play again on my part. This has been an episode of just disastrously bad play from me. Now, luckily, we get the next turn. What do we want to do with our dancer? We want slow dance, and we want to move out of the way so we're like a single target that he can hone in on. I think we'll go here. Yeah. No, we'll go over here. I'm not sure where the other characters are going to move. But slow dance is useful because it gets turns. It's absurd. Is this the power of the stone? Isn't the stone for destroying evil power? But if that's true, then the cardinal's evil itself. This is the power of Lucavi, who once ruled the world. Lucavi? Who are you? Where's the real Draclow? Where? Ha ha, what do you mean? I'm Draclow. No, or should I say, I was. I surpassed fragile humans by using the stone power. I became God. But if you remember right, the stones are supposed to be used against Lucavi, right? Those who interfere must die. All right, generic villain babble, but now, how much damage can we do? We got a couple options. We could cast Demi. 98% chance to do 93 damage. That's pretty good. 64 to do 186 damage. I don't love that. Meteor, we don't have time for. So let's go here. I probably should have moved 3. There was a chance that would fail. That would have been a disaster. I think Kutetsu Knife is still our best damage output. Yeah, 132 with 100% accuracy. And we want to Life Drain. And Life Drain, we need to move 2 squares forward. Real shame I messed up the positioning at the start because he should have gone for our dancer. If I had done this right, we would have induced an attack on the dancer, but I had the characters too close together, so we saw he could hit all 3 with bio. And also, this should heal us enough. This also tells us what his total life is, 93 times 4. Rounded in one way or another. This should heal us enough we don't die if he uses bio again, which is great. Because we also healed from Regenerator. And nice, we got the speed drop. And we're all level 15, so we should be able to end the chapter at level 15. And please please attack the dancer. All right, we didn't induce the sleep death sentence on the dancer, but we did induce attacks on the dancer. Now, if you think about this, we know he has 93 times 4 life. We did 93 here. We did over 93 here. So if Ramsay gets another hit and she gets another hit, Pythia, then we've done it. And we should be able to do that. We should do that just in case things go wrong and Life Drain happens to miss, while being as far apart as possible so we can only take out one of us at a time. But we should be able to do this. So I'm going to move here because it seems unlikely he has a move that can hit those two units that far apart. And it's 100%. We have good Zodiac compatibility, so it won't miss. And that should be Chapter 2. Yep, and that's its death animation. All right. So really screwed up at the end here, but I'm going to put in my scores now. So we had 0 deaths. We finish at level 15. I think all my units are actually level 15. And our score is thus Chapter 2. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 plus our number of deaths, 0 deaths. Incidentally, if you're trying to do a challenge run like this, expect to have way more deaths than me. The only friends I've bullied into trying this kind of run have A, not finished it, and B, had a lot of deaths, because it is hard. And the first time I played it, it was hard, and I had a whole bunch of deaths. And because that draft was stupid, I had like the best team ever, and I still had a ton of resets. So if you're playing this and you have like 10, 15 resets at this point, like you're doing great. You know, I've done many runs of this. And if you're doing like as well or better than I am, even better. Though I'm a little jealous. So chapter 2 times 10, 20, plus number of deaths, still 20, times level. Our highest level is 15. 20 times 15 is 300. So we get a score of 300 for the chapter. We get a score of 100 for the first chapter. Now, somewhere here, I have some of my better scores. Or, like, maybe all my scores. That time... Okay. I don't think this includes my first couple drafts. An 150 and a 400. We're doing a lot better than that. 165 and a 483. We're doing much better than that. 210 and 420. We're doing way better than that. 110 and 418. 132 and 437. Way better than all those drafts. 90 and 336. We were behind on Chapter 1, but we're ahead on Chapter 2. 110 and 378. 150 and 4. No, we just said those. 70 and 220. And a friend got 130 and 432. That's really good in a first try. Yeah. So actually, no, this is one of my better scores. I hadn't realized I was doing that well. Good job to me. I'm immortal. How can I be losing? It's impossible. I can't die until he resurrects. Nah, you done, dude. This was fun. I was really worried. I really don't like getting resets before Chapter 3. Like, you know, when you've sort of gotten a pace, if you regularly don't have something bad happen, it starts to feel terrible when it does, right? You know? But this game's hard. And I've made some very clear mistakes here. But it shows that, like, you make some silly mistake after just cruising for a while. Because Chapter 2 was, I think, significantly easier for this party than Chapter 1 overall. But, and I didn't have problems at Goog, and Goog can be tricky. I didn't have problems at like Barrios Valley or Barrios Hill; those can be tricky. So I really thought it was, and we beat Golgorand easily. So I was like, I was in smooth sailing mode. It's you who saved Obelia. We meet Gultana and his court for the first time. Delita, Black Sheep Knight under Baron Grims and Hyrule. So Delita Hyrule's his name, and presumably sort of where he's from. We know the Black Sheep Knights under Baron Grims are supposed to be the ones suppressing the rebellion, but instead they were given orders. This also tells us that Delita fully defected from the Hokutin to the Nanton Knights, right? But he also seems to be working with someone else. It is not clear. Hyrule. Never heard of him. The Baron died in battle last month with the Ryomoku. Oh. The Black Sheep were entirely wiped out. The Ryomoku are the rebellion. So The rebellion successfully wiped people here. They had less success in Galleon where we started. That's why I returned. How's the princess? Sleeping soundly. She's exhausted from the long trip. Gultana being able to produce the princess and not have killed her is obviously good for his reputation, given that they were claiming he'd tried to kill her. I heard you brought a prisoner. This is Orlandu, also known as TG Sid. TG stands for Thunder God. Now, if you looked at some text I skimmed about the 50-Year War, in the 50-Year War there were two great heroes. Balbanes, our father, and Orlandu, TG Sid, was the other really big hero of the war. Our father died since, but Orlandu's still around. Yes, sir, bring him. Why did you kidnap the princess? This is not who kidnapped the princess. We framed Gultana to prevent him from Lazalia. Lazalia is the capital, so meaning to make sure he wasn't made regent, right? Taking the regency. Who gave you the order? Prince Larg? One of Gultana's aides who wants to join Larg. Ridiculous! No aides would do that. Silence this lout. No need. Listen. Who's that? Talk, now. Will you save my life? All right, I promise. Who is it? Him, Minister Gelwan. How dare you? It's a lie. I don't even know you. Who seduced you? The Queen? That's absurd. I don't know anything. Treason's a serious crime, Minister. You may have noticed Orlandu reached for his sword as well when he saw a sword being drawn. I said I don't know a thing. Let me say this. We must go to the capital with the Nantin now, or they may hold you responsible for this plot. First, let's remove Orinas and the Queen, then get the princess on the throne. Now, this is an interesting little scene. Let's stop here for a moment and think. Is Gelwan a traitor? Well, that dude isn't a dude who kidnapped the princess, right? The kidnap the princess plot was a plot from the Hokuten. They were trying to get rid of her. They were saying, we want Orinas, and Prince Larg made regent of Orinas. That's how we gain power. We need to get rid of the princess, right? They wanted to get rid of the princess and make it look like Gultana was doing it. It was not, in fact, a Gultana aide doing it. Now, Delita, who is working for Gultana, showed up and did kidnap her, so you might say that's relevant, but he was clearly doing it to interrupt other things. It wasn't like a Gultana plot. It's pretty clear the Gultana side was not aware of that. Now, if that's the case, and you now want to return the princess to the side that won't kill her and will try to put her in power, then you give her to Gultana, and to win support for you and your plans, you have a fake person, right, say, that guy's a traitor. That gets rid of an advisor who isn't you, right, and wins you favor as taking out a deep threat. Sure seems like. So we just finished a chapter called The Manipulator and the Subservient. There's a whole bunch of subservience. I think actually the best example of the chapter might be Gafgarian, right? Gafgarian repeatedly sees different people manipulating and basically goes, you're manipulating, and then goes along with it anyway because that's the way of the world, right? That's the only choice he has. But the manipulator here sure looked like it was going to be Dysadarg. Then it looked like perhaps Draklau, and now maybe it's Delita in the end, because this looks pretty damn staged, right? Gultana went to Lazalia, we're going to fast forward because this goes so slow, and confined Ruvelia and Bethla for kidnapping the princess. So the queen has been dethroned, and let the princess accede to the throne. So princess is now in charge, but Larg insisted Orinas was the legitimate successor, and had him take the throne. Then Larg became the regent as a guardian. So the queen has been moved aside. Both sides have claimed we have the true successor, right? Goltana says we have the princess, and she should have the throne. Now we also know the princess is probably not actually a real princess. She was adopted too. Um, like she's not legitimate in a sense. On the other hand, Orianos might not be legitimate either. There is no evidence the king was able to father heirs, right? So we have two people with sort of like puppet pretend royalty as their kind of casus belli, their claim to, I guess that means something different, but their claim to the throne, right? Uh, casus belli is more like cause of war, cause for war, reason for war. But they each have this claim to the throne, and it's each not really legitimate, but that's not what matters, right? What matters is they can say something that's, and also like royalty is obviously nonsense, but they can say something that puts them as potentially rightful inheritors of power. And yeah, immediately after, Larg sent the Hokutin, led by Orianos, to Bethla to rescue the queen. Orianos obviously symbolically leading. Meanwhile, Goltana sent the Nantin, led by Ovilia, right? And we start the Lion War. This is the beginning of the upheaval, which would later be called the Lion War. Yeah. And we will save here, and that ends chapter 2. Hope you've been enjoying this. I certainly have. I love games of this type, and FF Tactics is my absolute favorite of this type. So, and I like stories of this mold as well. So I think we'll stop here before seeing the scene at Bethla Garrison, and see you next time.